So I saw a few things that interest me recently. First, we had the Super Bowl, Beyonce performance, and everybody was like, oh my God. Then Kendrick Lamar comes up a few days later and gets on the Grammys and wows out. Or was that the next day? Either way, you know what I mean. So, everybody flipping out. Everybody all excited, freaking out. And then you got the other half of people going crazy. People talking about they hate Beyonce now. Yeah, right. I do not agree with that Beyonce is as big a celebrity as Michael Jackson, but I will definitely say that Beyonce is one of those artists that no matter what race you are and no matter what age you are, you can't claim you hate her. It's just not gonna happen. It's too many songs by her you like. She too popular. Literally. It's some lady about to walk out her house and her daughter's like, what do you think you doing? Oh, so you gonna act like you didn't buy me that Beyonce CD for Christmas 3 years ago? Okay. Some man walking out his house and his wife like, nope. You don't remember last Valentine's? Remember that song I was playing, Surfboard? Yeah, that was by Beyonce though. Dang. Guess I can't hate her. Somebody walking out their crib. Oh, you don't like Beyonce all of a sudden, huh? You was playing cater to you all week trying to send subliminal messages when you wanted me to start cooking and cleaning more. All I'm saying, Beyonce is one of those artists, you can't hate her. You can try, but it ain't gonna work. At this point, I feel like there's only two options. You either let Beyonce do whatever she want to do, or y'all just gonna have to take her out. And to be totally honest, in 2016, I really think that there's so much media and so many things going on. People scared to take artists out like they used to. I believe that there was conspiracies for some of these artists being killed. I don't think they bold enough to do it no more. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe in the next few years we're gonna see her or Kendrick Lamar gonna end up in a bad place. All I know, Kendrick Lamar has definitely got a bullet. Motherfucking bullseye on him now. Cause, man, I hope that dude got good security. I would not want to be him right now. He is definitely the most controversial artist there is out on multiple levels. But anyways, the point of this recording, this clip, a friend of mine tagged me in a post on Facebook that I had ignored a few times that I didn't, well, not from her, but I'd seen it, but I didn't really watch it because I thought it was going to be stupid. But it's some girl named Tomi I've never heard of. Honestly, I don't have cable, and I hate watching the news and debates and stuff like that because they irritate me. With Charlamagne the God, I do like the Breakfast Club. But at the same time, unless it is on one of the topics that I'm interested in or has one of the people on there that I'm interested in hearing from, I don't really pay much attention to it. Just to be totally honest, I'm not really good at following, the upcoming rising stars, rappers and all of that. Just not me. I'm more interested in topics. But anyways, I don't like this type of stuff because anytime you watch it, it's always badgering. Even if you watching ESPN Sports Center and all of that, you see where one person is badgering the other. And pretty consistently, and I'm not trying to make this a racial thing, but the truth is the black person seems to be quiet more often in these types of situations and waits their turn, whereas the white person is kind of like throwing their opinion at them, especially if the black person is a guest star. Like, it's like, I don't really see the point of you bringing them on the show. because you only give them 5 out of the 15 minutes to say their opinion, and then you cut them off in the middle of their response so you can say your final thoughts, and then you say, thanks for coming on my show. And it's like, what was the point of you even bringing me on here? It was more like a confrontation that you just wanted to be able to confront me video camera to video camera and give me 5 seconds of publicity. What was the point of you even bringing me on here? So I hate these types of things. That's why I didn't watch it originally. But she tagged me in it, and I know she's a pretty wise, open-minded type person with very interesting concepts. So I'm like, okay, bet. Let's see what she got. So this nonsense here. So the Tommy chick is comparing. First off, she's speaking about the fact that Beyonce is showing honor to the Black Panthers. Now, first thing you need to understand is it's February. This is Black History Month. Any person on any level that any black person sees as a positive role model for any reason gets honored during this month, even if they did bad things. As long as they had a positive impact, they also bring them up as well. Tuki is well known for being a popular Crip, one of the most well-known Crips in history. Yet and still, you won't be surprised that during February, you might find somebody who posts some little well unknown historical fact like, oh, Tuki Williams used to go to the grocery store every month and give people money and help them buy groceries. And then you look it up and you're like, what? I didn't even know that. I'm just saying. Random stuff like that. People making posts about all of the people who actually fought back during slavery instead of just accepting it or trying to run away and hide in the Underground Railroad and all that. So you need to understand that even though the Black Panthers do have some negative connotations to them, it's February. They also got positives. They're going to get honored right now. Might as well let that go. They are historical figures that are well known through the black community, black society. Gotta let that go. Somebody's going to say it eventually. Second thing, her argument didn't make sense. Even if I was to acknowledge that everything she said was logical and a lot of the stuff she said was kind of just out the side of her neck, didn't take enough time to educate herself on the topic before arguing, let's talk about common sense. Common sense is my favorite topic and is the thing that annoys me the most because people don't like to use common sense. And the common sense is the thing you don't need to be educated on. You don't have to know the history of the topic you're talking about to use common sense to figure out if this is a good argument. So the first thing, and I'm not taking anything away from Charlamagne the God, but definitely if it was me, I would have took a totally different approach. So her argument, one of the things she brought up is, I made this comment about Beyonce and I compared the Black Panthers to the KKK, and I'll get to that too here in a minute. And all of these people started sending me hate messages and threatening me and my family and my friends. Charlamagne kind of went into this a little bit, but the first thing is, you grown. You got your own show. You are a personality. You're a celebrity on some level. You should know that people are going to be ignorant regardless of what you do. And definitely when you decide to make a bold comment like comparing a organization that you know in your mind is well known for being honored for their positive deeds and comparing them to the KKK, that some people are going to get angry and probably aren't going to have the best reaction. You can get on Xbox Live and play Call of Duty and get cussed out and called out of your name and threatened. Has some grown man telling you that he gonna come to your house and beat you up. So if you gonna put this on Twitter, a extremely high profile social media site, you should understand somebody's gonna say something. And you should have been prepared for that when you took the position. As far as I'm concerned, I felt that that was a ploy to try to sway people to understand her point. She even got all sad and soft voiced like she was finna start crying. Girl, you grown. The day you signed the contract to say you was gonna take this job and you was gonna be able to be bold enough to speak your mind, you need to be prepared. You want to talk about the topics? Bet. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King lost their lives for what they believed in, and they was bold enough to say what they had to say. I'm not saying you're gonna lose your life. I'm just saying if you gonna say what you want to say, be prepared for whatever the consequences are. That's like common sense for every other person that I know in the country, and especially black folks. You got the right to say whatever you want. You also got the right to be punished and have to deal with the consequences for whatever you said. So, common sense error number 1. Common sense error number 2. Portraying the Black Panthers as a terrorist group. Now, first thing, when human beings think of terrorists, you think of someone coming in and literally like assaulting you, destroying your living, destroying your family, harassing people. That is not at all the description of the Black Panthers that I've ever heard or seen or read, that they went into towns and just like harassed people. Maybe they did. I don't know. I'm not going to argue it because I don't know every single historical fact, but never happened that I know of. Americans, when we think of terrorists, start thinking of the Middle Easterns, start thinking of bomb threats, start thinking of people with AKs running around town shooting random people for no reason. Think of death that makes no sense, that the only people who understand why all these people died is the person who killed them. Again, never happened. So why you would use that specific word to describe them, I feel like is proper timing. This is word placement. You trying to use this word to bring out a feeling of stress for any person who's listening to this that is not educated enough on the topic. Because if you say terrorist to me about a group that I don't know who they are, I'm gonna assume they must be bad. I never heard of Al Qaeda until we went over to war. As soon as you tell me Al Qaeda, I'm thinking you're a terrorist. If I meet some dude tomorrow, he say he part of Al Qaeda, I'm be like, nope, we can't be friends. I don't know nothing about him. I don't even know what Al Qaeda means. Just because the news has told me that Al Qaeda is terrorists. So when you say that about Black Panthers, for the person who doesn't really know anything, they're going to automatically get negative connotations. And that's very bad and very dangerous for the younger people, because let youth start hearing this and they are going to start seeing the Black Panthers as a negative group. And 10 years from now, the Black Panthers will be seen as a negative group instead of a positive group that had good intentions. So that's common sense mistake number 2. Now, common sense mistake number 3 is a little bit more complex, but follow along with me. If her argument was, I was bothered by people threatening me, my family, and my friends. If she knew anything about the Black Panthers, she would understand that the whole reason which Charlamagne the guy was trying to bring up to her is that the Black Panthers only did this because in the communities where black people lived, they were looting, they were attacking people, they were destroying the cities, they weren't hiring people that were black. It was a lot of segregation, discrimination, and just ridiculous evil acts and violence towards black folks. The easiest person to get away with this is police officers because they are trained, they are militarized, and they're giving a lot of free will and freedom to quote unquote police people for the supposed to be safety of others. But at the point in time that you're thinking about, that you have to consider, any person living that was black was considered a negative on white society. So what somebody said was, I'm not gonna take this no more. Like the example that Charlamagne used with the whole Sandra Bland thing. If Sandra Bland had been getting attacked and they had seen that, they would have stopped it by any means necessary. If I got to come over there and get into a fight with you, I'm going to fight with you. If I got to shoot you, I'll shoot you. Do I think that that's the best option? No. But at the same time, it makes sense. Now, let me clarify. So let's use her life as a prime example. And this is the argument I definitely would have brought up to her. Okay, so you was worried about being threatened. You was worried about your family and friends being threatened, right? Okay, so let's say that the people that you talking about, that you referring to, they actually started harassing you. They started coming to your neighborhood. They came to your house. They yelled at you when you left the house. They threw stuff at your house, at your car. They followed you to work. They stood outside your job and yelled obscene things while you were at work. They picketed your job. They harassing you. They haven't even done nothing violent yet. They just harassing you, right? What you do? 2016, in this day and age, you call the police. Police show up. They hear what you got to say, but they don't really care. Oh, ain't nobody really doing nothing. They have freedom of speech and freedom to be wherever they want. They can do that. We ain't gonna stop them. You think it's messed up. Police don't do nothing. They go on about their business. Okay, well, maybe I need to go up another level and I'm gonna tell somebody else. So you go over the police officer's head. You tell them. He don't care neither. As a matter of fact, he get pissed off because of the fact that you brought it to his attention. And he tell the police officers not to even bother with you no more. So now these people harassing you, and the police officers don't even show up when you call them. Okay, bet, I'm going over his head. And maybe you go all the way up to the mayor. The mayor don't care. The mayor ain't tripping off of it. Now, by the time you get to the level of talking to the mayor, the people ain't no longer just harassing you. They actually taking action. They tipping over cars. They throwing stuff through your windows. They've actually attacked somebody you know. They're terrorizing your neighborhood to the point that your neighbors are moving out of town. They don't even want to live by you no more. You tell the mayor, hey, these people are harassing me. They're actually being violent now. I need protection. I need to be defended. And the mayor says, I don't care. And little do you know, the mayor is basically behind them. He thinks that you in the wrong. He thinks they should have the free will to harass you all you want. So now your family and friends are being beaten, killed, kidnapped, raped, kicked out of their houses, getting fired from their job, can't find a job, all of these different types of harassment and just internal emotional destruction and distress. What do you think you're going to do in this scenario? You going to keep asking for help from the authorities, or are you going to take action? For Martin Luther King and the people that follow Martin Luther King, that was good enough to be nonviolent. And as far as I can see, there was a time and a place to be nonviolent. But the Black Panthers decided, and other people decided, we're not going to take this. We're not just going to let you abuse us. We're going to let you know that if you bold enough to come out here and try to use your gun to intimidate us, we got guns too. And if you're not going to educate us, we will. If you're not going to feed us, we will. If you're not going to let us build our communities, we'll build them ourselves. If you're not going to give us jobs, we will get jobs. And if you ask me, I would be willing to argue that the only reason why Black people have the rights they do now is because somebody somewhere realized if we don't acknowledge the nonviolent protesters, there's going to be more violent ones. Because you got to think, the Black Panthers were actually succeeding for a little while. Just imagine where we would be now if the Black Panthers hadn't been disbanded. There would literally be cities where it would be nothing but Black people, and it would be totally militarized. And they would be just hoping somebody was bold enough to try to attack them. And on the inside, it'd be looking all nice and lovely and, but it'd be just like one of them apocalyptic movies. A giant wall around the city and people walking around with guns like, hey, what you doing? I'm just passing through. Go the long way. You ain't allowed to come in here. So, if you want to, while you sitting up here worried about people threatening you, and you want to cry on television because somebody sent you a hateful message, they didn't even actually do nothing to you, and you all in your feelings. Let them actually do something to you. Let them start hurting the people around you. Physically, mentally, emotionally, literally destroying you as a person on every level that they possibly can. What do you think you're going to do? In 2016, people that ain't even thugs killing other people for less. You got these kids getting bullied, going to school, lighting up the whole school. People get fired from their job, light up the whole office. These people literally are watching people's lives be taken or destroyed on a regular basis and are being told that they can't do nothing about it because it is acceptable. They had laws that literally said you could do whatever you want to these people. And nobody can say anything to you. What do you think they was going to do? Anybody should be able to put themselves in those shoes and say, you know what? I might not agree, but I can understand. I'm saying. So that was number 3. Number 4. You have to be kidding me to attempt to compare the Black Panthers to the KKK. Even if you were correct that the Black Panthers are a terrorist group, the Black Panthers are a group with positive intentions, and everything and every move that they make is methodical and purposed for the achievement of that positive intention. As far as my knowledge, KKK ain't got no good intentions. And not only are they a terrorist group, they are also a radicalist group. Because none of the stuff that they think or say makes any sense. They don't want to create a country rid of all other races. They want genocide. See, if the KKK was like some positive group where they was trying to send black people back to Africa and Hispanics back to Mexico or Italy or whatever type of Hispanic they are, and Asians back to Asia, and they was just like, we just want our country to be just white. So we raise money to send people out of the country. We help people find jobs in other places. We create communities where races can move to this community and just be with their own type of people because we don't want them around. Do I think that's wrong? Yes. But would I argue with them? No. I would have nothing to say then. I'd be like, I don't agree with your tactics and I don't agree with your opinion, but I can't be mad at you for that. They're not trying to rid themselves of having to be around other people. They literally hate other people to the point that they want to destroy them. They want to obliterate all other types of people that aren't like them. In total ignorance, because half of them can't even trace their own lineage. Y'all ain't even all from the same place. You ain't even all the same types of white, but you want to be all together like y'all all the same. But these people are a totally different type of violent group. Like, the KKK is just on a whole nother level. Also, if you want to compare the two, the KKK has power. That's a well-known fact. That there are actually people in places of power who have control and effects in this country who are actually part of the KKK. Because it is a secret society. So I could literally be any position in politics and also a member. You know the difference between KKK and the Black Panthers? The Black Panthers wear hats. You can see their face. You know exactly who they are. You can name every single one of these people. You can look in a history book and look up the names of people who were Black Panthers. You can watch movies and documentaries and people will tell you, yeah, I used to be part of the Black Panthers. How many people do you know that's part of the KKK? Look up the history of the KKK, see how many people they got named. How much power did the Black Panthers really have outside of having guns? They put their guns down, now they nobody. They just normal black people. The KKK take their robes and their hats off, their little hoods off. Who are they now? Politicians, business owners, entrepreneurs, teachers, police officers. You cannot even try to compare these two organizations. It don't even make sense. Her argument made no sense, and that is my problem with people who don't use common sense. Because you don't have to know a whole lot of facts. You can just know some basic information and compare the two and be able to say, you know what? That didn't even make sense. Her common sense arguments weren't even good. So on no level do I agree with her. It don't even, it irritated me to watch that video because I was like, she is trying every single television ploy to get people to listen. Proper wording, pretending to be sensitive, badgering her guests and not allowing them to speak, creating a circle so that they have to continue to try to use the same points over and over. Charlamagne, the guy, started off saying the same stuff so many times because she kept spinning him in a circle to make it so that he could not create a situation where he could start talking about another topic because he could never get through his whole thought. Perfect debating strategy. And then the great debating strategy that females love to use in relationships, switching topics. Soon as you, and that's how I know that she didn't know what she was talking about. As soon as a person gets into a debate and starts to lose the argument, they switch their frame of reference to a separate topic that is still in the same subject to make it seem like there's something else wrong. So you say, well, from the top down looking into this house, it looks like this house isn't built right. They're going to say, you might be right about the top down. I'm not quite sure, but what I do know is left to right. From this angle, it looks fine. Well, that's not what we're talking about right now. Yes, technically we're talking about the house, but we're not talking about left to right from your angle. We're talking about looking from top to bottom. And that's what she did. Soon as one point didn't make sense, okay, let me give you another reason why Beyonce's performance was wrong.